All right, guys, here you go. Part 2. We're talking now about how to evaluate these formulas. So in questions 5 through 11, all we're doing is we're just taking this formula right here and we're just evaluating it. Now, all these questions are without a calculator. It's just to get an idea for what the heck that formula is saying to do. But the numbers are all pretty easy to work with for these examples. And after this, we'll start working with a calculator later. So let's do these one by one. Number 5, we have 3C2. Okay, I'll just leave this formula in view here. Let's actually make a nice little purple highlighting here. Ooh, purple's a nice color. Okay, so, what am I writing over here? Sorry, guys. That should be a 3. 3, choose 2. According to the formula, okay, so the 3 would be the n, and the 2 would be the r, right? So the 3 goes on the top, 3 factorial up top. N is 3 here, so 3 minus r is 2. Close the parentheses, exclamation mark for the factorial. And then next is the r factorial. In this case, that's 2 factorial. And then from there, just simplify. So that top is 3 factorial. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 factorial times 2 factorial. Yeah? Okay. Let's switch colors for the next line here. And 1 factorial, of course, is just 1. So I'm going to start by just changing that to 1 times 2 factorial, right, on the bottom. And then the top, I'm going to do a 3 and then start going down the line until I hit the biggest factorial that I have below. And the biggest factorial I have below is the 2 factorial. And I'm going to stop there because that's the biggest thing that I can cancel, kind of like we saw with permutations, right? The 2 factorials, since they both have the factorial, then I can cancel them out, which gives me just 1, and I have 3 times 1 over 1 times 1, or just 3 over 1, which is just 3. So there you go. That was easy. That was number 5. Sweet. Okay, last thing, delete. All right, that was number 5. Let's go on to number 6. Okay, kind of a trick question, not a trick question, but this is also 3, choose 2. I'm going to just say same as 3, choose 2. The only purpose for this question right here is to remind you that those two things are exactly the same. So since I just did number 5, I'm just going to write the answer, which was 3. Yeah. So that is it. 6 done. Easy. Sweet. On to number 7. Number 7. 100 choose. Okay, before I answer this, before I try to plug this into the calculator, it's number 7. Think about this for a second with me. And before you watch the answer this question. What do you think it should be? I have 100 things, right? How many ways can I choose 0 things from that set? Of course, we know the answer should be 1, right? Just like we saw earlier in the question. What was it? Just like question number 4. How many ways can you choose 0 numbers for 1, 2, 3? 1 way. Same thing here. 100 numbers, 100 objects, whatever it is. If I want to choose 0 things, only 1 way to do that, and that is to choose nothing. Yeah, let's confirm that with our formula now, though. This nice purpley highlighted formula. So this would be 100 factorial up top, right? On the bottom, it's 100 minus r is 0 in this case, factorial, and then the 0 factorial. Remember, 0 factorial by definition we said is just 1, right? So this is going to become 100 factorial up top. 100 minus 0 is 100. And then the factorial afterwards, right? And then 0 factorial we said is the same as 1. So multiply by 1. Of course, multiplying by 1 is not going to change anything. So you don't even have to write this if you don't want to. And then what's next? Oops. Okay, what I got next? So that's 1. I meant to make a more obvious color change here. That's 100 factorial up top. The bottom, 100 factorial, right? I don't need these parentheses here anymore. I just kept it so you could see the connection to where it came from. The 1 is gone. 100 factorial over 100 factorial is just 1. And oh, look, matches what I expected it to look like, right? That's just working out the formula. Sweet. Okay, that's 7. Moving on to 8. I'm just going to blast through all these guys. Before you look at the answers, as always, try the questions out for yourself. See if you can figure it out before I tell you. And if you figure it out for yourself, That's awesome. Congratulations. Good job. Now 50 choose 50. Just like the previous question, we should be able to figure out what this should be. If I have 50 items, I want to choose all 50 of them. How many ways can I do that? I know the answer should be 1 in theory, right? How many ways can I choose 50 items from a group of 50? have to choose all of them. There's only one way to do that. Let's check with the formula. 50 factorial over n is 50 minus r is 50 in this case, right? Factorial. And then an extra r factorial. R in this case is 50, so it's 50 factorial. Which becomes 50 factorial. Top. 50 minus 50 is 0. So that's 0 factorial and then 50 factorial. Of course, 0 factorial is just 1 by definition. So 50 factorial over 1 times 50 factorial. 50 factorials cancel, giving me just 1 over 1 or 1. Matches my intuition here, right? There should only be one way to choose all 50 items from a group of 50 items. Okay, sweet. Number 9 now. 200. Choose 1. How many ways can I choose one thing from a group of 200? Well, I've got 200 choices to make. So the answer should be 200 in theory, right? Let's check it, compare it to our formula. N is 200. That's 200 factorial up top. And again, 200. And r is 1. So 200 minus 1. Factorial. And then extra r factorial. In this case, that is 1 factorial. Okay, that would be... sorry, I was distracted by my pen here. It's 200 factorial up top. 200 minus 1 is 199. I'm going to forego the parentheses this time, because we know that where that came from, right? 200 minus 1 is 199. Factorial times 1 factorial. Of course, 1 factorial is just 1, so I'm just going to forego that part. And then now I'm going to look for things to cancel. Top is 200 factorial. That's 200 times 199 times 198, or more condensed form of saying that is 200 times 199 factorial over 199 factorial. And the 199 factorials cancel. So what am I left with? Just 200 up top over 1 or 200. So 200 again matches my intuition. There should be 200 ways to choose one thing from a group of 200. So sweet. Brings us to the last two questions for this video segment. After this, I'm going to cut it off and then we'll continue in the next video. 10 choose 2. This time I don't have a solid intuition for how to do this, so we're gonna have to just work it out through the formula. N is up top, 10, and this is 10 minus r. 10 minus r is 2 in this case, so 10 minus 2 factorial. Extra r factorial, r is 2 in this case, so 2 factorial. Yeah. Okay, so what I got 10 factorial up top. 10 minus 2 is 8 factorial, and then 2 factorial. Now I'm going to look for things to cancel. When I decide which one to cancel, I'm going to look at which one's the bigger one. The bigger one is 8, right? So when I rewrite this, I'm going to go 10 times 9 times 8 factorial. That takes me from 8. This 8 factorial takes care of the 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here in the bottom, I got 8 factorial. I'm sorry, maybe that wasn't clear what I was saying here. 10 factorial, right? Where's 10 factorial? This is just kind of reiterating what the factorial definition is. 10 factorial is 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, right? So I can rewrite it as 10 times 9 times 8 factorial, because 8 factorial takes care of 8 factorial is 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. All right, so if I combine this and the 10 and 9, I get the same result. So this is something we've been doing over and over again, but I just felt the need to reiterate where it came from. Okay, so 8 factorial and 2 factorial on the bottom right. And now I circle the ones that are matching. I got an 8 factorial. And remember, you can only cancel if they both match in terms of not just the number, but also having the exclamation mark. If one of these is just a regular 8, then I can't cancel like that, right? Because this is really 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 represented here and here. But since they both have the exclamation, I can cancel them out. That leaves me 10 times 9 on the top and a 2 on the bottom. 2 factorial is just 2 times 1 or 2, right? So 10 times 9 is 90. Divided by 2 is 45. So there you go. That's number 10. Okay, I'm going to make a note of this answer here. And I'll tell you why after we do number 11. Let's do number 11. It's 10 choose 8. According to my formula, that's 10 factorial atop, and then 10 minus r, which is 10 minus 8 factorial, and then an extra r factorial, right? Okay, that gives me 10 factorial up top, 2 factorial, 8 factorial on bottom. And I'm going to do the same trick. Look at the bottom two, which one's bigger? The 8 factorial is bigger. So that's the guy I'm going to look to cancel. It's 10 times 9 times 8 factorial. The bottom is 2 factorial and a 8 factorial. Nothing changed from here to here, right? Same. And then I see 8 factorial. So those guys, same. Cancel. Gives me 10 times 9 on the top and 2 factorial, which is 2 times 1 or just 2 in the bottom. And then 10 times 9 is 90. Divided by 2 is 45. Curious. I got the same result. Is that a coincidence? There's a reason for that. Well, something to ponder, guys. Think about that. Well, maybe that'll come up in the next video or two. We'll see. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.